mean, what was your first reaction when you got to know about this particular news report?
I was not actually shocked because this is not the first instance, and I'm very sure this is not going to be the last.
Yeah.
And as Shahzad rightly pointed out, it's like people like Amitabh Bachchan, who we take up as idols of the society, and who, in fact, and it was widely publicized about what happened to Aishwarya Rai, right? I mean, because she was belonged to a certain kind of a category, and she was had to marry a tree, and I mean, news like this propagates, and the fact is that patriarchy or hierarchy is so deeply entrenched. And let me say, make it clear that just because we are in India, we cannot say that the rest of the world is less patriarchal. There are different levels, but here, of course, the idea of superstition is so deeply entrenched because, like, local views, customs, in every field that you see, it's always a kind of a hierarchy, a kind of subjugation that a woman has to face, whether it's a religion or that religion, in every kind of a thing. Like, forget about even about like a girl marrying dog. What about a woman menstruating who's not allowed to go inside a place of religious worship? I mean, why? What is this idea of impurity that has or purity that has come to be associated with what a woman is? And that is the basic idea about why we have so much gender violence in this country. One of the most fundamental ideas about what makes a woman pure, what makes a woman ideal, for which, like, a woman who does not adhere to the conventional norm is often subjected to gender violence. Some of the girls in my school did that. When she reached puberty, the family married her off to a banana tree as a symbol. And that was something that I could never understand at the time. What is this kind of marriage that happens to a banana tree when you're attaining your puberty? I mean, like, it was superstition. It was in a way like so regressive for a lady, for a woman. I mean, that means you're meant to be a wife. I mean, that's how you're viewed when you reach puberty. I mean, men definitely are not viewed that way, right?
Even in the political discourse, you see, Mr. Modi, who's the current Prime Minister, once made a speech about how women can be good mothers, daughters, and that how the father should plant some trees so that when she gets married, we can give dowry from those trees and cut the wood, and all these kinds of patriarchal religio-propagated ideas, whether it's the Islamic religion which has been manipulated to kind of subjugate women, or the Christian religion, or the Hindu religion. I think that now it's time for women to take up these issues and come in the front and say this is not okay. And especially when idols like Amitabh Bachchan and these kinds of people, they take these regressive ideas forward. I think it's very shocking. And I would say to this extent that this is a conspiracy that women who are extremely talented, in fact more talented than men, should not be given their position either in the social religious space or in the political space, and they should be denied by saying they're impure, or they are, they can't touch achar, they can't do this, they can't marry a tree, or bad luck. These things are a conspiracy against 50% of the world's population, 50% of India's population. I think we should unite against this kind of oppression of the minority women.
Idea of looking at women as this child-bearing machines is what is like, one of the most fundamental ways in which a woman has been rendered agencyless in a way. I mean, you reach a certain age and marriage questions. And I want to put this now, when we're talking of weird marriages, let me put this question out to all the married, educated ladies and the men out there. Why do you take your husband's surname after marriage?
This is to marry inanimate objects, or to marry a species which is not even yours. I mean, I don't know which sense of justice can even justify this. But I must tell you that some of the women on my Twitter account came and said, oh, but it's okay. So when I asked them that, would you do it? They said, no, we will not do it. But for those women, it's okay because it's out of their own convictions they want to do it. See, this kind of double standard should not be there amongst women. All women should stand up for the rights of all such other women. They must, like Saheen is saying here.
Okay, if they say that if I want to marry a dog, they must marry the dog. They must not be double standards.
Exactly. You marry it as well, rather than saying, oh, she's doing it out of a free will.